Your dentist just told you that you need a root canal. And maybe it sounds straightforward. They take out the nerve, fill the tooth, crown on top, problem solved, tooth saved. I used to tell patients the exact same thing. I performed hundreds of root canals in my career, and then I stopped completely. Today I'm going to tell you why and walk you through exactly how to think about this decision. There are 4 things you need to know. By the end of this video, you'll have a completely different question to ask your dentist. I personally know that this decision about a root canal or not is a difficult one, and it's often very emotional. When my son was 11 years old, he was at a baseball game. He was practicing before the game, and I was coming to meet him. He got hit in the mouth with a baseball during that pregame practice. He walked around the corner holding his teeth in his hand, blood all over his face, and I just started to sob because first of all, I, as a mom, was so sad for him. But as a dentist, I was devastated for him because I knew the decisions we were now going to have to make. He was 11 years old. And I knew as a dentist that we weren't going to be able to replace those teeth with dental implants until he was done growing. So for him, that was age 22. We had another 11 years to go. He couldn't live without his front teeth in that time. So, in that situation, when I was faced with that same question, a root canal or not, we chose to do a root canal for him. And that root canal lasted most of those 11 years. By the end, it was getting pretty sketchy, and he was getting some infection around the end of them, pretty substantially, in fact. But we made the decision because we knew this was a temporary thing for him. We knew that this was going to hold a place. It was going to hold a tooth. It was going to allow him to smile through all of those really important years of growth. I was able to watch very closely what was happening with that tooth, with the bone around it, with all of the structures in place around it. I was able to watch it with cone beam CT scans, and I knew he was healthy and well. So it was a decision that we made. Difficult one, but we chose to do the root canal. So if you're choosing to do a root canal, it's okay. You just need to know what you're choosing. And I really do believe that a root canal is usually a temporary fix. It's a temporary measure to buy you time, either for growth or just to get your mind wrapped around losing a tooth, or maybe financial reasons even. This is a temporary stopping point, and it's an okay decision if you make it with the right factors in mind. So I'm going to teach you what you need to know about a root canal to really make the right choice for your own situation. So what does a root canal really do? People generally know what this is, but the specifics are a little fuzzy usually. What happens when a root canal performed is we remove the nerve and the blood vessel section on the inside of the tooth. It's sterilized with actually bleach, and then it's filled up with a rubbery material called gutta percha. Now, the problem with this is that the blood flow is no longer there inside of the tooth. Remember, we removed all the blood vessels. So it's basically entombing that tooth, a dead tooth, inside of the jawbone. There's no blood flow. Immune cells from your body can't get inside of that anymore. So this is problem number 1, is it's no longer alive. There's no longer any nerve sensation. So if infection starts to build around the tooth, you can't feel it. The early warning system is gone. And here's the bigger issue. Dentistry defines success for a root canal as no visible, basically bone loss around the end of a root. However, you can't see that bone loss around the end of a root until it's quite large with a traditional dental x-ray. So if you're just getting the regular kind of dental x-rays, the kind they put in your mouth and snap out here, and then when they can see the tooth and the bone around it, you're missing about 50% of what's actually happening in the bone around that root canal tooth. You have to get something called a cone beam CT scan to be able to see this very clearly. So let's just summarize the problems here. Blood flow's gone. No immune cells are able to get in there, nor antibiotics or other things like that. They can't get back inside of the tooth. It's now dead. Nerve is gone, so you can't feel if there's a problem. And the dental x-rays you're getting routinely when you go in for a cleaning aren't showing the true story around that root canal. So we've already identified a few issues going on here. The next big challenge is that inside of every single one of those teeth is literally a mile of tubes. Now, that main root canal houses the big nerve, the larger blood vessels, but inside each of those tubes, there's a little extension of both nerve tissue and blood vessel tissue. This is why when you drink something cold, you feel it immediately because there's nerves that go all the way out to the outside of the tooth. So that tissue is too small to clean, and those tubes are too small to fill. So you always have dead tissue left inside of the tooth. So anytime you have dead tissue inside of the tooth, it's going to attract bacteria. And that's what happens. Bacteria start to find that dead tissue. Now, your body knows what to do in this situation. It's going to send its immune cells there to attack it. But remember, they can't get in. It's all sealed up. They can't actually get into the main source of the problem, which is the dead tissue. But they can start to attack anything that's outside of the tooth. And your body does a great job. The issue is, it never stops. That dead tissue never goes away, so your body has to constantly mount this immune response, which leads to chronic low-grade inflammation. All the time. Body's always fighting this at a low-grade level. And some research is showing that about 50% of root canals do have some level of bacterial challenge around the end of the root. 50% of teeth. There was a man named Dr. Weston Price that did research in the 1950s. He found about 990 of 1,000 had infection around the end of them, so much higher than 50%. We'll even go on the 50% level. Even at that level, 1 out of 2 chance you have a chronic infection around the end of a tooth that you've had a root canal on. So what does this infection do? Well, let's talk about some of the latest research. The IAOMT, an organization that's really dedicated to making sure that people know the studies and all of the up-to-date information about some of these topics, they actually studied 560 research studies to find out what was going on around these root canals. And they found a lot of things are going on around the end of these root canals. There was a study in 2024 that actually looked at heart attack patients. And what they found was staggering. People that had a heart attack, they were 5.3 times more likely to have also had a root canal. What? That means the root canal was drastically affecting their overall health. Why? When you're chewing on these infected teeth, it's literally flushing bacteria into the bloodstream, leading to inflammation throughout the entire system, not just locally around your tooth. Also linked, diabetes, autoimmune disease, pregnancy complications, and I could keep going on and on and on. These are associations. They're not proven cause and effect, meaning if you have a root canal, I can't tell you you're going to have a heart attack. But what I can tell you is it is affecting you. And here's the interesting thing. It depends on your current situation, your current health level, all of those kinds of things. So these recommendations are very personal because in my 11-year-old son, it was a choice we made. But if you have chronic disease, if you already have heart problems, if you have a genetic predisposition to this, then maybe that risk is too great for you to take. Before I get to the 4 questions, I want to give you something. I put together a free guide. It walks you through exactly what to ask your dentist before you agree to anything. Click the link below. It's completely free. So let's dig into these questions. The 4 questions to ask your dentist if you've been told you need a root canal. Question number 1, is the nerve still alive? Why is this so important to ask? Because if the nerve is still alive, you still have a chance to save this tooth. We call this root canal prevention. We actually remove the cavity down to the deepest layer, but we don't uncover the nerve. That's the most important piece. We leave it alone, and we sometimes leave cavity at that deepest layer, but we treat it with ozone, which kills all the bacteria, so it's no longer an active cavity, and we fill right over top of it. If your tooth is still alive, you have a chance to save it. Question number 2, was this evaluated with a cone beam CT scan, not just a regular dental x-ray? Remember, that's so important to know. Number 3, what is the plan if this root canal fails in 5, 10, 15 years? Again, let's get into the mindset of this dentist. Do they believe the root canals are a forever fix? Because you've just learned, most likely they're not. Question number 4, What's the long-term plan for replacement if and when this root canal does fail? Now, we talked about my son versus someone who already has disease. This is really important to understand because my son, who's young, who's healthy, he's going to fall into this 10 to 30% range of good chance that things are going to be just fine for him for probably quite a few years versus someone who already has autoimmune disease, already has problems with the immune system, already has inflammatory conditions like heart disease, anything like that. You are probably going to have a harder time keeping this tooth well. So, these are things to consider also. What is your current health situation? And are you willing to risk low grade chronic infection in your system? Can your system tolerate it or not? So, what are the decisions in those two different scenarios? If you're healthy, don't have any genetic predisposition to issues, you have no chronic disease, no inflammatory conditions, maybe you choose the root canal for now. It's holding the space. You're able to still chew with the tooth, smile with the tooth. It might get you 5 to 30 years. That's great. One thing to make sure of is that you're watching it very closely every 3 years at minimum with a cone beam CT scan, just to ensure that it's doing okay. And if you do get symptoms that crop up, remember that tooth. Go get it checked out. Now, what if you're in the other camp and you say, no, my health is not such that really can withstand anything more. In fact, I need help to be better, not things that could potentially make me worse. In that situation, we recommend removing the tooth completely. I know that sounds extreme, but not when you consider your health. Treating that whole site with ozone to make sure that everything's killed, and then rebuilding the spot and putting in a ceramic dental implant that replaces the tooth completely. You can smile, you can chew like you always have, or you can choose to never have it replaced. My husband is missing a tooth in the back of his mouth, and he's never replaced it. There are absolutely options at that point also. So what would I actually do if this were my tooth? Well, the first thing I would do is get a cone beam CT scan, not a flat dental x-ray, but a cone beam scan that shows everything. And then I would really honestly assess my current health situation. For my current health, I'm a little bit on something could probably tip me fairly easily. So I wouldn't risk it. I know the success rate of ceramic dental implants. I know that that's something that will probably be with me for the rest of my life. If I had a tooth that was infected, it was already dead, I would have that tooth removed and replaced with a ceramic dental implant. If I had a tooth that was affected, the cavity was getting close to the nerve, I was certainly feeling it, but the tooth was still alive, I would 1,000% do root canal prevention with ozone, filling it right at that spot. We have about a 92% success rate in those situations. So that is 100% what I would do if this were my tooth. What do you do if you already have a root canal? Well, really the same scenario. You're going to get a cone beam CT scan, you're going to evaluate your current health situation, and you're going to say, if my health could be affected by this, is it worth getting this removed and replaced? And again, that's a personal decision based on you and where you're at right now. But at least you know what you're choosing. You're choosing potential failures for the root canal and potential overall systemic health effects when it's there. Can you handle it, or can your body not handle it? That's for you to decide. Look, I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to give you the information that your dentist may not have time to share. Root canals are not always wrong, but they're also not always the best answer. The best decision is an informed one. Ask the 4 questions. Get the cone beam CT scan. Know what's actually happening in your mouth, because a healthy mouth is the gateway to a healthy you. And my mission is always to help you live well.